From Opryland in Nashville, this is Ralph Emery with... Welcome to our show this week, starring the auctioneer Leroy Van Dyke. And I got the prettiest little old Texas girl for you to meet. Here's Miss Dottsy. And here to open our show, the one and only Johnny Rodriguez.
There's a place next to my home state called Louisiana. They got rodeos and lots of Cajun folks in Louisiana. They got beauty queens and fishing machines. Ate gumbo till my dish was clean. For a Texas boy, it was a bundle of joy. Louisiana. If a Cajun girl should give you a whirl, just play the game. But be prepared, she might wind up with your last name. Met her in a funky old bar playing piano, and she made me fall in love with Louisiana. Play that fiddle now. She was a Cajun queen, you know what I mean, Louisiana. And she showed me things I'd never seen in Louisiana. But before I got bit by the bug of a taste of bisque and a Cajun hug, I managed to slip out of Louisiana. If a Cajun girl should give you a whirl, just play the game. But be prepared, she might wind up with your last name. Met her in a funky old bar playing piano, and she made me fall in love with Louisiana. Yeah, she made me fall in love with Louisiana.
Now,
You know what's happened to Johnny Rodriguez since he was last on Pop Goes the Country? Put your arms down. He got married. And
Yeah.
Married a pretty girl named Linda.
Thank you.
And 20,000 girls wore black armbands, didn't they? Now, I want to ask you something about your home life. Do you have to do the dishes? Do you wash or dry?
I wash, I dry, I clean clothes, I scrape the floors, I do everything.
She's got you about where she wants you.
Oh, yeah.
She's a very pretty girl. Now, many of you young ladies out there have often wondered where the key to Johnny's heart is. I found it today.
What do you mean?
It's right back.
Oh, no, man, where'd you get that?
There's a key back there. I don't know what it's doing back there.
How'd you know it was back there?
I just saw it hanging off your shirt.
You know what? You know what that goes to?
What does it go to?
That goes to my suitcase that I travel with me. You know, sometimes I fly in an airplane and I lock it up. So, you know, sometimes I don't trust nobody. You know,
This
like
way
you leave them at the airport, and I don't want nobody to get in my bag or nothing like that. So I lock it up, and then when I get to the other end of the flight, see, I just unlock my bag and get in.
Okay, all right.
That makes sense, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. I'm going to move on to the next act here. We have a fellow making his debut on our show. He's an old friend of mine, often referred to as the auctioneer. Here is Leroy Van Dyke.
Who's gonna run the truck stop at Tuba City? Keep the back bar clean, keep the place looking pretty, tell jokes to the folks, keep the conversation witty when you get right down to the nitty gritty. Who's gonna run the truck stop at Tuba City when I'm gone? Well, now Hank and Crystal, they moved out west to do the job that they both do best. That's running the best truck stop you've ever seen. Hank worked back in the kitchen and cooked, and Krista waited tables with a sexy look, and before long, she became known as a truck stop queen. Well, you know, that title went to her head, and Hank became sorry he'd ever wed that strong-willed woman who began to boss him around. She'd yell and scream through the kitchen doors, tell Hank to get the lead from his drawers. I mean, friend, she was always putting him down. One day, Hank had had it to his ears. He went to the cooler, got a couple of beers, took Crystal by the arm to a table, and he set her down. Who's gonna run the truck stop in Tuba City? Keep the back bar clean, keep the place looking pretty, tell jokes to the folks, keep the conversation witty when you get right down to the nitty gritty. Who's gonna run the truck stop in Tuba City when I'm gone? Well, the Greyhound bus stopped every day to drop the mail while on its way to Reno, Silver City, Tahoe, Fresno, Bakersfield, and beautiful downtown Burbank. He said, woman, I done had enough of your cuss. I'm putting my bags in that Greyhound bus. You're a plain bad broad, and I had enough of your lip. Well, he walked up to that folding door. The bus took off with a roar, and as he hit the road, he bought a ticket for a one-way trip. Hank looked out the window at the back of the bus, and there stood Crystal in the desert dust, just standing on the bumper with her lips just a-flapping in the breeze. She was shaking her finger, pounding on the glass, and giving old Hank a ration of sass. She wasn't about to let that poor man leave. Hank pressed his nose to the window pane, and he started in screaming at that dizzy dame, and the people on the bus all began to turn and stare. Then about that time a sign said dip. Crystal did a twist and a double flip, and Hank hollered out the window. She flew through the air. Who's gonna run the truck stop in Tuba City? Keep the back bar clean, keep the place looking pretty, tell jokes to the folks, keep the conversation witty when you get right down to the nitty gritty. Who's gonna run the truck stop in Tuba City when I'm gone? Well, there's a moral to this silly old song, and I hope you ladies won't take me wrong, but women's lib needs a slightly different point of view. For a man has got to be a man, and if you can only make him think he can, in turn your man will make a heck of a woman out of you. But you're the only ones that can do the trick, cause only a woman knows how we tick, and I believe that man and woman is here to stay. Just make your man think he's the boss, then help him out when he gets lost, and I'll guarantee you girls you'll never hear him say. Who's gonna run the truck stop in Tuba City? Keep the back bar clean, keep the place looking pretty, tell jokes to the folks, keep the conversation witty when you get right down to the nitty gritty. Who's gonna run the truck stop in Tuba City when I'm gone? Honey, when I'm gone, yes I'm gone, you know I'm gone, for you done gone and bought the farm, and if you think I'm gonna hang around here and list all that sass, you better think again, cause I'm moving it on out, I'm hanging it up, and I'm gone!
Thank you very much. A little trip to Tuba City with Leroy Van Dyke. And this very pretty lady is a senior at the University of Texas, and she records for RCA, and she's one of the new folks we're presenting, one of the new folks in country music that we're presenting this season on Pop Goes the Country. Would you say hello to Miss Dottsy?
Hello. How are you doing?
Dottsy, you're welcome to the show. How about saying yourself?
Storms never last, do they, baby? And bad times all pass with the wind. Your hand in mine stills the thunder, and your love makes the sun want to shine. Well, I followed you down so many roads, baby. I picked wildflowers and sung you soft, sad songs, and every road you took, I know your search was for the truth, and the clouds brewing now, they won't be the last. Storms never last, do they, baby? And bad times all pass with the wind. Your hand in mine stills the thunder, and your love makes the sun want to shine. thunder, and your love makes the sun want to shine. Yes, your love makes the sun want to shine.
Dottsy, that's beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
I believe that's a Jesse Coulter song, isn't
That's
it?
right.
Dottsy what?
Dottsy Brodt, B-R-O-D-T.
You dropped that for show business
That's
purposes.
right.
Dottsy
Nobody
bread.
can remember that, right?
That's German for bread,
Sure is.
which is what you hope you'll get for working this show, right? I know you think an awful lot of this fellow who's about to sing on the show. You are a protege of Johnny Rodriguez,
That's
aren't you?
right. A protege and a friend, I hope.
He's helped you a lot in this business?
Oh, he most definitely has.
Why don't you introduce him then?
Okay. One of the greatest country singers ever, Johnny Rodriguez.
At times she comes around, though she's someone else's now. I can't lay it down no matter how I try to forget her when I find she's no farther than my mind. Makes me wonder if I ever said goodbye. Night and day, it's all the same. So pour some whiskey on the flame. Burn another memory in my mind. Through the years she's moved uptown. Well, I've come a long way down. Makes me wonder if I ever said goodbye. Yes, she always says hello the way she used to. But my God, she only said goodbye one time. Heaven knows I live in hell. This barroom is my cell. Makes me wonder if I ever said goodbye. Makes me wonder if I ever said
We're having fun this week on Pop Goes the Country with Leroy Van Dyke and Dottsy and Johnny Rodriguez, and we'd like for you to see them all again. We're going to start this segment as Leroy Van Dyke recreates one of the most famous country songs ever recorded, The Auctioneer.
Hey, well, all right, sir, here we go there. What are they going to give for? I'm at 25 to get 30 now. 5 for a bid to 5 and $45 on the pound there. There was a boy in Arkansas who wouldn't listen to his ma when she told him he should go to school. He'd sneak away in the afternoon, take a little walk, then pretty soon you'd find him at the local auction barn. He'd stand and listen carefully, then pretty soon he began to see how the auctioneer could talk so rapidly. He said, oh my, it's do or die. I've got to learn that auction cry. Gotta make my mark and be an auctioneer. $25 bid and now $30 50. Will you give me 30? Make it 30 bid. The bomb $30. Will you give me 30? Who would have bid a $30 bid? $30 bid and now 35. Will you give me 35 to make it 35 to bid a 35? Who would have bid it at a $35 bill? Tell your story, son. Okay. So from that boy who went to school there grew a man who played it cool. He came back home a full-fledged auctioneer. Then the people came from miles around just to hear him make that rhythmic sound that filled their hearts with such a happy cheer. His fame spread out from shore to shore. He had all he could do and more. Had to buy a plane to get around. Now he's the tops in all the land. Let Paul give that man a hand. He's the best of all the auctioneers. $45 bid and now the $50 50. Will you give me 50? Make a 50 bid on the $50. Will you give me 50? Who would have bid a $50 bill? $50 bid and now 55. Will you give me 55 to make it a 55 to bid a 55? I sold that hog for a $50 bill. Hey, well, all right, you're open the gate and let him out and walk on board. Here we come a lot number 29 in. What are you going to give for? I'm at 25 to get 30 now. 5 for a bid of 5 and now 40 now. 5, 55, 65, 75, 85, 95, 100, 125, 126, 127, 128.
Everybody's reaching out for someone, and everybody's knocking at some door. And long before I ever found you, you're the one that I was reaching for. Just like the trees along the riverbank lift up their branches to the sun above. We spend our lifetimes reaching for a friend, 'cause everybody needs someone to love. Everybody's reaching out for someone, and everybody's knocking at some door. Long before I ever found you, you're the one that I was reaching for. I wanted you since the day my life began. I heard your footsteps running just beyond my mind. Ever since that moment I've been reaching for your hand, hoping you'd be reaching out for mine. And everybody's reaching out for someone, everybody's knocking at some door. Long before I ever found you, you're the one that I was reaching for. You're the one that I was reaching for. Yes, you're the one that I was reaching for.
Suéltame, déjame ir. Estoy cansado de sufrir. Vivir contigo es un pecado. Suéltame, déjame ir. I'm beginning to believe I get my kicks from being hurt. Instead of making love feel better, you just make it worse. You tell me go, then call me back, and then you set me free. You always come back to hurting me. You always come back to hurting me.
I want to thank my friend Leroy Van Dyke, whom I've known a long time. Pleasure to finally get you on this show, Leroy.
Thank you, Ralph. I'm awfully glad to be with you.
You still pursuing the life of an auctioneer?
Yes, sure. Every night.
Now, I know
Yeah.
at one time you had an auctioneer school, didn't you?
Yes, it's still in existence. They're still going. I don't get up there anymore because I'm too busy, but the auctioneer school is still
You mean
running.
there is a Leroy Van Dyke auctioneer school
No, it's called the Superior School of Auctioneering.
where I could learn to bid call?
Right.
That's called bid calling, right?
Right, right.
Okay.
We'll sign you up.
All right. I'd like-
Next term is in, well, about a few weeks here. We'll get you in.
Okay. Think it'll help?
I'll get you a deal.
All right, for old stumble gums.
Right.
Dottsy, I want to thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ralph.
It's a pleasure to have you on the show. Little John?
Great being here.
Mr. Cool.
Huh?
I got a name now for you, Ralph.
Mr. Cool.
Yeah.
I got a name for you, but they won't let
You
me
got
use
it all together.
John, thank you very much. That's our show this week. Thank you for watching Pop Goes the Country. We'll say so long till next week.